Hi everyone, my name is Nicola. I am simply a stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it's great to have you, and if you are returning, thank you for spending a little bit more time with me today. Excuse me. So today we're going to do my stitch with me. This will be one with some chat, and as you can see, Envy is out today and we're working on her arm and the area around her arm. So this artwork is by Marta Dahlig, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm stitching this 1/1 full cross on some 25 count Lugana, and so far this morning I put in 170 stitches. So we're going to see how far we can get. So I'm going to zoom in. In fact, I'm just going to, yeah, there we go. Hopefully we're not going to have any lighting problems this morning. But yeah, I'm going to crack on and do some. I've got lots of comments to share with you today. So I hope everybody's doing well. I've had a busy week. And by the time you're watching this video, you'll have seen that I have done a whip parade and released that, a mid-year whip parade. What else have I got going on? Been working, obviously. Andy got to his 10,000 subscribers, and thanks in no small part to you guys. Monday morning as I film this, normally there's just Hannah in, but today Lauren is too. She has an inset day from school, so no school for her. Cat's also wandering about. Yeah. Did a live, been doing my live streams both Sunday and Wednesday. You'll know from Wednesdays that my princess is finished, and She Sleeps is now in the focus for a finish spot. So yeah, all working well in the stitchy world. So there we go. Be alright if I don't unthread my needle, wouldn't it? So yeah, so it's a Monday morning. It looks alright weather-wise, although my phone tells me that rain is expected later. Well, it's July in the UK. Of course it's going to rain. I mean, after an absolutely horrific June, what else should we expect, really? We're definitely not getting the best of the weather this year, are we? Last month was referred to as January by a lot of people because it was feeling like January can. And it comes to something when it's the 1st of July and I'm sat here in my hoodie to stay warm. I don't know. So I now got 7 projects plus focus for a finish in rotation. And the reason for that is I work on 4 projects in a week in rotation. So one on Monday and Tuesday, one on Wednesday, Thursday, one on Friday, Saturday, and my Sunday stitch. And if I have multiples of 4, you will see the same projects over and over in rotation, in Stitch With Me's, and on live stream and so on. So what I've done is I've taken She Sleeps out of the rotation and doing like I did with my princess, getting in 200 stitches a day. and extra stitches. So, you know, when I finished my, you know, like say Monday, Tuesday, this week it's Envy. So as soon as I've finished and worked in 1,000 stitches on Envy, until Tuesday night, end of Tuesday night, She Sleeps will have the rest of the stitches. So yeah, I don't have any models stitching in at the moment, but even if I do, I shall still keep doing 200 stitches on She Sleeps, whichever then rotation piece, and then model stitch. So yeah. So Andy reached his 10,000 subscribers, and on Sunday evening he put out on his channel his 10,000 subscriber special, which was mine and his wanderings through the city of London. We found lots of interesting stuff, and yeah, it was a lovely way to spend some time, and I hope that those of you that have seen it enjoyed it just as much as we enjoyed making it. So, but yeah, over the 10,000 bracket, he is thrilled. It's taken him 4 years to get to that point, and fingers crossed, you know, it won't take him as long to get to 20k, but you know, you just don't know, do you, in the world of YouTube. I've been stuck around 1,777 subscribers for about 4 days now. You know, I had a bit of a boost on the back of a mention. Somebody said I'd been mentioned in a video. No, that was it. It was, oh, I can't remember a flipping name. That's bad. I've got it written down somewhere, I'm sure. In Stitches with Lindsay or something. I had it written down on a piece of paper, but the paper's gone for a walk. So, yeah. And I got some new subscribers after I'd had a lovely mention, which is fantastic. So, yeah. But yeah, my next big one is the 2,000 subscriber mark. And considering it took me 18 months or so to get to 1,000, it's probably going to take me that to get to 2. I've been doing floss tube for 3 years now. And I thoroughly enjoy it. I do like spending my time making these videos, and I do quite a lot. So 2 times 2-hour live streams, and then 2 times 1.5 hour stitch with me's per week, which is 7 hours, plus then a floss tube, which is another, say, 20 minutes. So let's call it 7.5 hours. Let's round it, because obviously there's time as well that, you know, I have to set up and get ready for these things. It's almost like a day's work a week just doing floss tube, but I enjoy it. I mean, I went from sort of just doing 1 video a month, or 1 video, there wasn't really any specific time scales in the beginning. I think I'm now certainly much more organised, and I mean, obviously I put out a lot of hours worth of content, and I try and do something for everyone. So if you are new here, you should find something for you. But of course, as I always say, if you do have any ideas or suggestions for future videos, there's a comment section. Pop your comments in. I shall be doing a 2025 plans video soon. I just need to fully firm up my Gecko Rouge purchase when I get my voucher. So I've got a Gold Club voucher coming this month. And then when I finalise that, then I'll be able to do a bit of a parade for my Gecko Rouge and other starts. I'll be starting in 2025 because, as you guys who've been around for a while know, I am planning to start all of my Gecko Rouge kits, which I have is about 8 of them. I'm calling it the Year of the Gecko, but there are going to be some other projects in between. It'll take my work in progresses up to 20, because I've currently got 12. So if I still have, no, currently got 8. If I still have 8 going into next year, it'll increase to 20, which is a lot for me. Definitely out of comfort zone, but hey, I'm up for the challenge. And if I don't start them, these pieces are just going to sit in my workbox and not get done. So I think I have a bit of a starter-palooza next year. I should be starting, my plan is to, on my floss tube on a Tuesday, draw the next start, which I will do on a Stitch With Me, which will be released, well, I'll be filming it. I usually film my second Stitch With Me on a Wednesday. This is where it gets confusing. I film my Monday Stitch With Me for release on a Thursday. I film on a Wednesday Stitch With Me for release on a Saturday. I film my floss tube on a Monday for release on a Tuesday. So what I'll probably do is draw it via pick a wheel on my Monday filming of my Tuesday floss tube to start the project on my Wednesday Stitch With Me, which I will release on the Saturday. If you made it that far, you're awesome. And I shall do that for the first 12 weeks of the year. And I shall still keep the same pattern in my rotation. So I'll have a Monday, Tuesday project, a Wednesday, Thursday project, a Friday, Saturday project, a Sunday stitch, a focus on a finish once a week, every week. But I'm also going to have a slight change to focus on a finish. So I figure I've got 3 projects plus a focus on a finish, which are all either closest to a finished or furthest from a finish. So I plan to do my extra stitches. I'll have, morning Hannah, I'll have a further 4-week rotation where 1 week I will work on my extra stitches on focus for a finish. Another week I will work my extra stitches on Night Cafe. And 3rd week I will work extra stitches on Door to the Deep. And 4th week I will work extra stitches on my Realm of Middle-earth map. It makes sense to me and it makes sense in my head. But, you know, I'm going to get lots of stitching in. So, there we go. Anyway, Hannah's down with me, having a breakfast, not saying much. Not awake yet. Are you, Chuck? No. So, I'm going to start with my comments, because we're 15 minutes in and I haven't looked at any, just gabbled on. about next year. So my first comment is on FlossTube 24, and it's from Patricia Pillin. I've got several Patricias, and Patricia says, Nicola, no need to apologise. You must care for your family first and foremost. That was when we were having some difficulties for Lauren, which have thankfully settled down. We don't appear to be having any more issues, touch wood. Certainly none that have come to my ears. Maui Princess is on the home stretch, and Realm of Middle-earth map is progressing nicely. Well, as you'll have seen by now, Maui Princess is most definitively home stretch because she's done, although she still needs a bath because she's smelly. Yeah, I think, you know, when you've worked on a piece for so long, the oils from your hands, no matter how, you know, you're washing your hands and stuff, you still get oils on them. And I don't like to wash mine until they're done. Especially if they're like on gridded fabric. Because then I have to do all the faff of regridding, which, no, I ain't got time for that. I want to spend my time stitching. So there we go. And Sharon Fennell, fabulous stitching. Thank you, Sharon. My Princess is looking so good. You're getting close now. Yeah. It's been a bit of an odd week not stitching on My Princess, because obviously she's no longer on my table, as it were. But I'm getting into She Sleeps, and can't speak. Looking forward to seeing progress on her. Then Laurie says that Princess is so close. See you Wednesday. Oh yes. Princess was indeed close at that point. I put in an awful lot of stitches on her, and I was worried that I was going to get stitchy fatigue, but the carrot and stick, as it were, of that finish soon put paid to the stitchy fatigue. I think, you know, when I'm just so focused and I want it done, it doesn't really matter what colour I'm stitching, or if it's block or confetti or whatever. Sorry, I might just be slightly out here. I just want it to be done. And it seemed like from 95% up, it seemed to take ages. In reality, I don't think it was, but I just think, you know, when I was doing it, it just seemed to be ages. Okay. Norma, your weight loss progress is so amazing. Congratulations. You look absolutely amazing. My Princess has always been one of my favourites, and I cannot wait to see it finished. Well, the wait is over, Norma. I've had lots of lovely likes and things on Instagram as well, including from Komari, who has followed me on Instagram. Bit fangirl, you know. And Komari is just such a fast stitcher, and so the stitching is so beautiful. I was talking about it last week in my live stream. She's doing a flower girl, heaven and earth design. Gosh. And the eye on it is just so beautiful, so detailed, and so pretty. And then Patsy Hannah's friend, Patsy of the Diamond Paintings. She just sort of looked at me quizzically then. I love the way you can get so much progress on each project. My head would be buzzing if I did that many in 1 week. They're all looking really great. Yeah, I think it helps me sort of having a hard stop at 1,000 stitches on each piece. I've said this before. If I know that I can do at least 500 stitches a day on a full coverage. 1,000 stitches in 1 day, if I get plenty of time, if I'm not going into the office, if I don't have a supermarket shop to do, you know, that kind of thing. And I figure that if working on a piece until I get to 1,000, it's not going to burn me out, which is why I sort of set that figure. And it does, you know, seem to help with getting progress in, and then doing the focus on a finish in between, because I'm kind of going from project to project. I'm not getting bored. And then my Sunday stitch is throughout the day on a Sunday, because I get up in the morning, I do a bit of stitching, I do some overtime, then I go back to my stitching, then I do some lunch, then I go back to my stitching, then my stepdad comes and I put my stitching down and have tea or dinner. Then I go back to my stitching, then I have a bath or wash or whatever, then I have my live stream, so I'm back to my stitching. So it's kind of broken up on a Sunday, which is quite good. So Red, who is a regular participant on my live stream, Red has been studying, and of course we all wished her well because she had some exams, and she comments on live stream 23 to say, thank you guys for the wishes. Today I can say that I finished my studies in the university. I got a grade 4, 1 is the worst and 5 is the best, and she finally has time to stitch. So many congratulations to you, Red, and I'm so glad that you have successfully completed your time at university and have got a good result. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm not university educated, and I do admire those of you who are, because I don't know if I could have done university. I struggle. I fall to pieces with learning, especially if there's like an exam involved. I'm not very good at that kind of thing. There we go. Let me just move my... There we go. Okay. Linda, love to stitch. You're so close to finish Maui Princess. Impressed with your projects. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, my projects, I think, I've said this before, they're a nice variety. Lots of different subjects. I don't get bored. I don't get stuck. When I get fed up of working on greens, I can go and work on different colours. When I'm fed up of blues, I can go and work on beiges. Or something that's multicoloured. It's great that, you know, that these pieces are coming out so well. And of course, with me adding the 12 pieces next year, they will just go into the rotation wherever they're picked. So, say for example, Realm of Middle-earth is usually followed by Envy. But if I'm working Realm of Middle-earth and a new project is picked, it will go after Realm of Middle-earth and before Envy. and so on. So the projects that I'm doing won't be left behind. We'll just get some new and interesting ones added in. Okay. MVC comes in to say, Nicola family always comes first. Doing 2 lives per week is a huge commitment, and I should think you should worry less about having to do it so regularly. You might want to give yourself and your family a breather. Anyway, best wishes on what you decide. Yeah, absolutely. And there may be some times where, you know, 1 or 2 of the live streams do go for a, well, as we say here in the UK, they'll go for a Burton, and they'll be sidelined for a week. If I do feel it's getting a bit much, I'm sort of quite happy to do that. But conversely, I love my live streams and the interactions that I have with you guys. And if I'm honest, I think I'd sooner part with doing a stitch with me than a live stream. But, you know, then again, I don't live stream at silly o'clock in the morning. I do it in an evening when my day is done and I'm settled down in my time to stitch. Andy particularly says I look strange without a needle in my hand these days, so I'm getting to the point I look strange without a camera in front of me. I don't have as much time as others to floss tube because obviously I work full time, you know, and I know Kamari does a lot of live streams, a lot of long live streams. I don't have that luxury. I don't know if it, I mean, I don't know if streaming and stitching for her is a full-time job. I've no idea. Mal says, next time you have Night Cafe out, would you mind showing me the back? I'm working a 10 stitch block, a 10 by 10 like you are. I'm curious if your back looks like mine or if I just have my own special mess. Your wish is granted, because you should have seen that on my floss tube, because Night Cafe is out on there anyway. And I really, really hope I've remembered to show you the back. But it's quite a full back on Night Cafe. It's very much like a carpet. Is Lauren walking to work with you today? No. Okay.
On the not.
Oh, right, okay. So I thought she mentioned something the other day.
I can't cope with her first thing in the morning.
All right, okay. Fair dues. Curly Crafter. I'm so sorry for your daughter's troubles. She's such a sweetie. People are so ugly sometimes. Great progress as always. I'm actually off tomorrow. Maybe I can make a live. Yeah. She is a sweetie, but she can also conversely be an absolute pain in the whatnot. So, but I've said about this issues that happen. I don't think Lauren was entirely blameless because she's got a gob. She's fiery, but I don't think she deserved what happened to her. I do think that was unpleasant, to say the least. You have to get dressed, you can. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Okay. Lynn Steiner says, great lot job. Blah, 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 blah. It'd be all right if I read things in right order, wouldn't it? Congrats on your weight loss. Job well done. Thank you. 6 stone, 4.5 pounds, or 88.5 pounds so far. I want to get to 108.5 pounds lost to meet my goal, and I'm working on getting that done. Sorry if you see some wobble. I know he's trotting back and forth. Hi, Brenda Murphy. Hi, Nicola. While watching your live, I noticed you do something with your needle that looks like a knot so your thread doesn't come out of the needle while stitching. As one who constantly unthreads my needle while stitching, I would really appreciate your showing this trick on either your next Try to Stitch with me or tutorial. If you choose to do a tutorial, could you also show how you do the double movement of your stitch? I tried it, but I found the thread dragged and eventually frayed, so I must be doing something wrong. I usually use 22 count Ada 1/1. Yep, no problem. So I'm one of those people that when I stitch, I pull my needle quite firmly and I very often end up unthreading it. So what I do is this. So I hold the main thread in between the fingers of my left hand and then the needle, so it's kind of like chopsticks. Then what I do is, sorry, I feel a bit cack-handed. What I then do is I put my thread over and then bring it through the loop, so it's just a very gentle knot on the end. It pulls tightly enough so that it doesn't unthread the needle, but also it's loose enough that I can pick it and pull out the thread, so and it doesn't fray it. So let me show that again. So I put the thread over and then I bring it back through the loop, and it's just like a simple knot really, but I've been doing it so long I can do it really quickly. And then to unpick it, I just, with my nail, just open up the loop and it comes off no problem. Now with your double, the double movement, I'm presuming that you mean when I put the needle down and I bring it up without pulling the thread right the way through. So let me just see where I am here. So I've got my hand underneath and it's literally pulling the thread through my fingers. So I go down, I hold the needle and I've got the thread here quite taut. I've turned the needle and I'm using my middle finger just to pull a little bit more thread through, and I'm holding it downwards, whereas, you know, I'm holding the thread to the bottom, whereas my needle, if I just poke it through the top, is up here. So then I put my needle through, which is nowhere near the thread, so it can't go through the thread. I've still got my hand underneath and I'm guiding the thread so it's smooth going through. So I'll just show that again. Okay, so it'd be all right if I didn't unthread the needle, wouldn't it? Let me just do my... Okay, right, so I go down and I'm holding the thread tight and I'm pulling it down to the bottom. The needle underneath, let me just flip, can I flip my hook? No, I can't. The needle underneath is pointing up towards the top, and I've got the thread in my fingers but pushed away from the needle, so the needle doesn't get, so I'm not putting the needle through the thread, which is probably what's causing you fraying. Bring the needle up, but using the bottom hand, I'm still guiding the thread through to keep an even tension, if that makes sense. So down, hold, up. I'm using my fingers all the time to guide. My fingers underneath are constantly, the top two fingers are constantly touching the fabric. I do not let go of the fabric, because then I can keep my thread running through in a controlled way. And sometimes if I'm going in the bottom square to come up, I just put my top finger in a loop of thread and move it out of the way again, so when I bring the needle up, I am not going to shred the thread. So it's not perfect, you know, what technique is, but it works for me. And I do find that sometimes I just have to put the twists back in to my thread. What I'm going to try and do, if I can pin Andy down, sounds a bit rude, I'm going to try and tutorial or show what I do underneath on another video, because I think, you know, by seeing what my hand's doing underneath, it kind of helps you make sense of what's going on the top. But yeah, that's how I do it. And when I want to take, you know, obviously I've disconnected this thread now, but I can just pull it. I've got the nails to do it, to be fair, but what you can do is just use the point of a needle, if need be, to pull the thread out. So I hope that helps, Brenda, and anybody else who's been interested in the technique I use underneath the cloth. I can only really I don't tie my thread onto the needle at the beginning. It tends to be a little bit down, a little bit further on in my, when I get to sort of half or less of the thread length, because it's not really needed in the beginning, to be fair. But I, as I said, I pull my needle quite firmly. And until I started doing that, I was having I mean, we rethread our needles a lot anyway, but it was just constant, and it was a proper pain. And I was like, I have to do something to prevent this from happening. I think I saw somebody else do it. Don't ask me who, don't ask me when, don't ask me where. But it kind of stuck with me, and I thought, is there any way I can teach myself to do that and do it quickly? Because, you know, I like to spend my time stitching and not faffing with needles. So Seems very dark. It's especially handy when you work in big areas of block stitching. And I can do it with 2 threads just as well as I can with 1. But to be fair, with 2 threads, unless there's a loop already sort of formed for me to take it off the needle, I will use a needle to pick open the knot on the hoop. I will use a separate needle to pick open the needle knot, if that makes sense. Okay, Laurie, you were just zooming along today, restarted a new stitch and could not keep up with you. Yeah. Some days it's like warp speed, and other days I feel like it's a real slog. But it depends on what I'm stitching and what kind of stitching within that stitching. If it's lots of confetti, like Sailing Fairy headdress is lots of confetti, and I'm just working my way past that at the moment on her. But Daughter of the Deep, this one, Realm of Middle Earth, I've got lots of block stitching. Can zoom through, getting lots of progress. You know, She Sleeps, it's kind of the best of both worlds because there's high confetti areas and not so high confetti areas. So Peggy says, hi Nicola, nice to see Envy out. On my last Stitch With Me where Envy was featured, and here she is again. I do love this piece. I've seen quite a bit of progress on her this year. And when you see the whip, or when you've seen, if you haven't seen it, watch the whip parade, it'll show you the difference from the start of the year to now. It's had a good run. Jeannie, stitching along with you, enjoying the music. Great progress. See you Sunday. That was also on Envy. And then the lovely Sandy on my last chatty, which had She Sleeps. Great video. I stitched along with you this afternoon and enjoyed it very much. I'm glad things are settled for Lauren. How stressful for you all. I'm pleased to hear your model stitching's going well. Not surprised that they're pleased. You're so fast and neat. Thanks for sharing. Take care and happy stitching. Thank you, Sandy. Yeah, model stitching's dried up again. It comes in fits and starts. So I might just whiz off an email this week and see if there's anything else coming up. Because I do really enjoy doing it. It's like definitely a change from the full coverage, because none of the model stitching I've done has been full coverage. So okay. Stitching Betty leaves me some flowers and hearts. Thank you, Stitching Betty. Let's grab a drink. Peggy says, hi Nicola, trying to catch up with YouTubes. Hope your weekend was nice. She Sleeps is really coming along. Yep. And it's going to ramp up. Now it's on the focus for a finish. Oh, it's not there. Trying to stitch a stitch where there isn't a stitch. Gail Fallon says Envy looks amazing. So this is in FlossTube 25. So FlossTube 25, to the end of those comments is where I'm going to end today's comments. FlossTube 25 is the one where Andy said, you know, I need your help. We wanted to get him up to these 10,000 subscribers. And of course you guys came in and you helped. And came in droves, and he made it. Joanne Keating says, all done. Clover Stitcher, I so want to do Envy. Green is my favourite colour. Tell Andy that I subbed. I certainly did. Kathleen Cranak says, cannot wait for your live finish, because of course that FlossTube was released the day before I stitched my princess through to a finish on my live. I think that's a nice way of doing a finish, doing it on a live and sharing it with you guys. It's really lovely to do that. Laurie says, Envy is gorgeous. I love your whips. See you Wednesday. And she subscribed for Andy. It is super duper. Thank you very much. Renee is was already subscribed to Andy, and she enjoys his videos. Yeah, Andy doesn't have much self-confidence, and he always thinks that he could be better. And I said to him, you know, you're better than you think. We were having a discussion with him on Sunday live stream, and he really sort of needs to have more faith in himself. I mean, I proved it to him last year, didn't I, with the Open All Hours video, getting it to 100,000 views and, you know, that kind of thing. Proved it to him. Stitching Betty says, thanks for your hubby's link. Joy Steeler says, so talented and great eyesight. Okay. JLS75, beautiful stitching projects. Love your videos. Thank you. All of your gorgeous pieces. My princess is so close. Hooray, says Linda. Love to stitch. Curly Crafter, subscribed and a new channel to binge watch. Nicola, your progress is amazing as always. Can't wait to see your finish. Yes, I think Andy's channel is a few people have said that it feels like they're actually with him on a tour and he's explaining stuff, and I think he'd make a fabulous tour guide. Very knowledgeable. Sue says, I really hope I can make you live on Wednesday to see you finish Maui. I'm already subscribed to Andy's channel. Good luck. And Peggy says, I love watching Andy's channel. I get to go to all kinds of beautiful places with him as my guide. He's really well prepared. Thank you both for wonderful channels. Thank you very much, Peggy. So, Forget Me Not Gem says, nice stitching, can you smile more please, as it feels more welcoming when folks smile. I will aim to try, but to be fair, I do sort of focus on the stitching. I'm a little self-conscious about my smile anyway. My teeth are not great. But yeah, I will endeavour to try. And Forget Me Not Gem comes back when I commented similarly and says, just smile, your work is stunning. So it's definitely something to smile about. Thank you. I will try. Not always easy. But yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, so that is the last comment on my floss tube and where my comments end today. I'm going to save up the next few for my next Chatty Stitch with me, because there haven't been an awful lot sort of since then, although I have been having a conversation in Korean with a lady who wanted to know what count my princess was on. So I went to Google Translate because she'd written in Korean, and I went and translated and replied back to her. I do try and make sure that my channel is inclusive, no matter where you come from and which language you speak. So, and Google and the internet as a whole has made it much easier, thanks to services like Google Translate. I did put that it was via Google Translate on my message, just in case of anything, shall we say, wonky cropping up on there, because I wouldn't like to say something and it translate to something rude. What you think is polite could actually be offensive, because Google Translate has been known to get it wrong. There we go. So, as ever, thank you for your wonderful comments, and please do carry on leaving them. Anything from comments to ideas and suggestions are always welcome, and it helps me make content for you guys that I know that you'll appreciate. So yeah, keep them coming. So we still have over half an hour of time to go. So I'm just going to plough on and stitch. If I do have anything I want to mention, of course I will. But for the next half hour, just enjoy some stitchy time. Oh, the cat's just been sent downstairs. Are you in trouble, cat? I think it's going to be a sunny day today. I think that promised rain may decide not to arrive. It does look like a good day. Are you ready for work, chicken? You look fab. You always do.
I don't know, gosh, I should be alright in just this, shouldn't I?
I think so, yeah.
It's meant to rain later, but I've got an umbrella in my bag, so I should be alright.
Okay. I'll see you later. Have a good day.
I will.
Bye. You'll be fab.
As long as I don't have a leaky pen, I'll be alright.
She had a pen leak in her trouser pocket the other day, and she was most annoyed when she came home and discovered it had leaked through the pocket, and it had leaked through onto her skin, and she had a nice black patch on the side of her leg from the ink. So yeah, Hannah was a little miffed, shall we say. She came in from work and she was ranting about this pen because she'd managed to get it on her nails, and it turned one of her pink nails into a lilac nail. No matter how much she scrubbed, it wouldn't come off. So yeah, she was quite annoyed. Oh, well and good you sitting at the door, Cat. She's not coming back for a few hours. So with this stitch, her arm is now completely enclosed. So that is now complete. Oh, Cat's got the zoomies. She's not been in the litter box. Oh, sounds like we're on a scratchy box. What we call Big Mad. Have a cat, they said. It'd be fun, they said. In 3 days' time, we will have had the cat for 4 years. So on the day that this goes out, it's the cat's anniversary. 4 years since she came to live with us. And she's now 11. Remember the day we brought her home? Oh, she did all the way. She was in a carrier in the back of the car, on the back seat. And all she did was just this pitiful meow all the way back. It was quite heartbreaking, actually. And then she hid under Andy's desk for about 3 days. We tried, we gave her food and, showed her where her litter box was and all the rest of it. Oh my goodness, she was not a happy cat. Being plucked from one home to another, because you can't explain to a cat. And she was plucked from one home to another, and she has eventually, she's settled in. She doesn't like Andy, she doesn't like men in general. The only time that she does go anywhere near Andy is when she wants feeding. She broke into our bedroom yesterday morning. When I say broke in, my door is sort of pushed to and it's sort of jammed in the frame. And she managed to push it open, came and got on the bed with me and Andy yesterday morning, and she's meowing and purring and dribbling and biting and nibbling and licking and doing everything she could, on Andy's head to get him up, because she wanted feeding. She shows her affection when she's ready for a dinner. She's a strange cat, really. We've got no end of cat toys and she doesn't play with them. She'd sooner play with a wrapped up Freddo wrapper or a bottle top. Daft cat. I suppose it's no different to babies. They like the box it comes in. She's taken to sitting on Hannah's desk at the moment, which is fine until Hannah wants to do some diamond painting. Then she knocks the pen out of Hannah's hand and all sorts. Doesn't like it when Hannah diamond paints. She'll occasionally come and sit next to me and watch me stitch. Occasionally she'll sit on my knee while I stitch. Oh, there she goes again. Yeah, definitely in zoomies mode. She's running around upstairs like a plum. It really is. That was silly. Watched a good film on Netflix this weekend with Liam Neeson in it. Was it just called Ice Road? I think it's Ice Road. Liam Neeson, Lawrence Fishburne. Very, very good. Bit gruesome in one place, but a thriller and some unexpected twists and turns. So if you've not seen that, and if you've ever watched Ice Road Truckers, you'll probably find it interesting. It's a good film. Not going to give too much of the plot away, but they have a mission to go on the ice road and take supplies to a diamond mine. But it's after the ice road is closed, because when you're in where the ice roads are, sort of Alaska, and I think it's Alaska, Canada, them sort of areas, they're only open for a certain amount of time. But yeah, it was an interesting film, and it was an edge of the seat job. The other day I got woken up at 3:45 in the morning, I think it was next door's dog I could hear just making a teeny tiny whiny sound. It wasn't loud, but it was enough to wake me up. I had a terrible night that night. Andy wasn't home. So I came down, that was Saturday morning, Friday night into Saturday. So I came down, and at 4:30, I was feeding the cat and got my stitching out, because why not? Hey, do you want to play? Yeah, we want to play. Got my stitching out, because why not? And put Netflix on my laptop, got my headphones on, and found this movie, and I thought, oh, I'll give that a go. So I'm watching this movie at 5 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes on Netflix, you'll find something that's made for Netflix, and it'll actually be rather good. It's surprising. I also watched Baby Reindeer. Everybody's been talking about it, so I binge watched it. And I found it in places quite disturbing. If you've watched it, you'll know what I mean. But it was one of those that I did want to know what happened next. And I know it's based on a true story, but it's difficult to know what's been embellished and what's not. I've seen this lady's interview with Piers Morgan, and I know that she said that none of what was claimed that she did. But it was certainly an interesting look into stalker behaviour. But I was just like, everybody's been talking about it. It's all over the internet. Let's give it a bash. And see what it's about. I think it's like 7 episodes or something. It's interesting how two people can talk about the same event but have wildly differing experiences of that event. I think, to be honest with you, both of the people have issues. I don't think it's just her. But then again, I don't think he's innocent either. I think they both have issues. But yeah, I mean, certainly as far as Netflix goes, sometimes you just find something on there that's rather good, worth watching. I mean, I watched the Harry and Meghan docu-series, 6 hours of my life I'll never get back. And the way it was constructed, the way it was put together, was to give the impression of, and you know, some of the B-roll and stuff that they used, I actually found a video about it. And it kind of steered you to assumption rather than the actual truth. But then again, those two and the royal family are a bit like, you know, the two people in Baby Reindeer. They have wildly varying recollections of the same event. That's why there's always two sides to every story. Sounds like the council are out mowing our grass verges. I don't think the little school's in either today, round the corner. I haven't heard any school mums. And normally I'd heard some by now, the breakfast club and so on. I could be wrong. Could be a borough-wide inset day. It's not unheard of. Aye, them mowers are getting ever closer. Doing quite well on this one today. Got another 10 minutes. So yeah, I think just a nice quiet stitch with me because I've definitely run out of things to say. I'll keep watching and I'll be back at the end. That doesn't quite look right. Let's try it this way. That's better. Okay, so I think that's a good place to leave this one, seeing as the mowers are making a heck of a racket out there, aren't they? Right, so 320 stitches done. Yeah, 320 done today, so a little bit less than normal, but that's absolutely fine. Still doing really well, and just loving how this piece is stitching up. These colours just fit together so beautifully. And we've got the edge of a dress coming in there and part of the bottom of the bodice, so I'm going to fill this bit in, and then next time I bring this one out I'm going to fill in some more of a dress, I think. So yeah, that's exciting. So I'm going to end this video with my usual reminders. 3 videos appearing on your screen in a moment. If you've not seen those, please do go take a minute to have a look. So as ever, my schedule is Floss Tube on a Tuesday, Stitch with Me's on Thursdays and Saturdays, and live stream on Wednesdays and Sundays, 7:30 p.m. UK time. On a Sunday, I'll be working on my Sunday stitch, and on a Wednesday, I'll be working on my focus for a finish. So thank you all very much indeed for watching. Do take care, happy stitching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.